Okay, people. So, yes, we are finally taking a look at Wake Up Dead Man. You know, this is once again written and directed by Rain. No, it's Ryan, isn't it? Yeah, Rian Johnson. Well, it's spelled Rian. You know what I mean? But yes, no, I just remembered it is actually pronounced Ryan. Rian Johnson. He also produces the film along with Ram Bergman. It's co-produced by Nikos Karamigoyos and Leopold Hughes. It is executive produced by Tom Karnowski and associate produced by Adele Franch and Richard Goodwin. Nathan Johnson handles the score. Right, Stephen Yedlin is on cinematography with Bob Duxey editing the piece. Right, Brett Howe and Mary Vernew were on casting for all of this. Production design is Rick Heinrich. We have Jim Barr, Dean Clegg, Simon Elsley, Timothy Stewart Hiddelbrunt, Kate Susan Hunter, Chloe Kleitzer, Hugh McClelland, and Quinn Robinson on art direction. Set decoration, we have Catherine Pyle. Costume design, wardrobe, Jenny Egan. Right. Dumbi Anozi, Lisa Carcedo Barbette, John Blake, Charlie Blunt, Olivia Cassidy, Zach Coyle, Yena Cruz, Amy Dudley, Polly Earnshaw, Daniel Erdman, John Fallows, Tommy Fry, Charlotte Hayward, Rebecca Lafford, Tracy Levy, Sophie Mack, Adrena Montoya, Douglas Noy, Connor O'Sutherland, Paula Price, Andrew Simonin, Thalia Sparrow, Robert Trenton, Liga Lukman, Renee J. Vassa, Linda Villalubos, and Jeremy Woodhead are on hair and makeup. Right, which then gives us Anna Benton, Stuart Boover, Kit Burden, Christian Cole, Elliot Collins, Joel Conlon, Rick English, Luke Lonu, Ellie Keeley, Richard Leggett, Freddie Mason, Kai McKee, Liam Medlin, Ray Nicholas, Ryan Palmer, Ian Peed, Tilly Powell, Charles Ramsey, Daniel Rawlings, Olivia Reeve, Tom Rogers, Matt Shuren, John Street, Justin Sissom, Anushka Taylor, Roy Taylor, Andy Torbert, Matthew Webster, Marcus White, and Donna Williams on stunts. Right? So, our cast. Once again, Daniel Craig is back as Detective Benoit Blanc. Right? We have Josh O'Connor as Father Jude Duplantency. We have Josh Brolin as Monsieur Jefferson Wicks, right? Oh, we do have his dad, right? His father, who would be Reverend Prentice Wicks, is played by James Faulkner. His mother, Grace, was played by Annie Hamilton, which then has his right-hand woman, Martha Delacroix, played by Glenn Close. Martha's love, right? And the groundsman for the church, Samson Holt, was played by Thomas Hayden Church. Right, Bishop Langstrom is played by Jeffrey Wright. Who else? I feel there was another priest. No, maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, we have got the congregation, right? So there is Simone Vinay, played by Callie Spenny. We have Lee Ross, played by Andrew Scott. Vera Draven, played by Kerry Washington. Her stepbrother, I guess he would be, Cy Draven. Oh, no, he wouldn't. Anyway, Cy Draven, played by Daryl McCormack. Dr. Nate Sharp, played by Jeremy Renner. Chief Geraldine Scott, played by Mila Kunis. Who else do we have? Louise, played by Bridget Everett. Nikolai, the bar manager, played by Noah Segan. I actually thought it was Charlie Day at first, but no, it wasn't. Oh yes, the deputy sheriff is played by Jamie Karizitz. Deacon Clark was played by Kit Burden. Reverend Frank, played by Gavin Spokes. Reverend Delancey, played by Paul Hilton. We've got, a younger version of Martha was played by Cecilia Blair. A young Wick was played by Georgie Drain. Another young Wick played by Bertie Drain. Well, because, you can't have a young kid on screen for too long. A younger version of Cy, played by Leo Abello Perry. Vera's father was played by Ray Bolton. Darla, right, who is Nate's wife, right, Dr. Nate's wife. She was played by Nicola Hughes. Who else was there? Tammy, played by Kerry Francis. Eddie, played by Ian Porter. Cy's attorney at the end, played by Bill Davey. That's really most of the main cast. All right, so Father Jude arrives in a quaint small town, hoping to serve God, but finds only suspicion when the community's pillar is suddenly murdered. Branded an outsider and a prime suspect, the young priest is forced to join forces with Detective Blanc to expose the real killer. Ooh. So yes. Now, Now, the issues I had trying to watch this film during the London Film Festival, right? And, so I knew I had to wait for it to actually drop on Netflix. And watching it, yes, there was a lot of visual things. I can understand why, and everyone was laughing and was amused and stuff because of like the visual tags that were littered throughout the film. And there were other things that were shown that I just wasn't able to see. So yeah, I'm glad I finally got to see this. And once again, Ryan does a very good job of giving us a whodunit, right? And hey, he's kept up the quality. Now I had seen in the time since London Film Festival a lot of people saying this is the best one yet, right? And it is laid out differently, which is good, you know? And I think that was the thing with the second film. It was very different to the first. So it is appreciated that, Ryan has taken that approach, right? Because it would have been easy just to kind of rehash the first, use that same formula, right? Which is, what we've seen with a lot of, these kind of things, right? If you think about Murder, She Wrote, right? Every episode was essentially same format, right? Those early seasons of House, same format every episode. So when you have a kind of a who done it type of thing, it's easy to do that. But, Johnson hasn't, which is, applauded. He has once again created characters who are intriguing, like all of them. You're wondering, what's the deal, right? What's the deal with this one? What's the deal with that one? Because when you break it down, everyone could have a motive, right? Even if you're like, but that is that. How tentative is that one, right? But oftentimes, that's the intrigue, right? It's the person who you would least suspect is the one that might have done it. So it does make it that you are pondering throughout, right? And it's like, can Benoit solve this mystery? So we have that, completely different settings, which is another interesting take with this. The first was the first wasn't an estate, wasn't it? I guess the second one, it was kind of an estate. I mean, it was a wealthy person's home. So a little bit different, but, this is even different. Ooh, that was poorly structured sentence. But, yes, because we have a church, right? A local community. So we're getting these kind of different looks into things. There's a lot going on visually here, which, was to my detriment first time around. But when you can actually see it all, it's good. You know what I mean? It definitely gives you this rich tapestry, right? So, yeah, the cinematography works very well. I mean, the casting was excellent. Excellent casting. You know what though? I will have to admit, I thought, right, that Natalie Portman was in this. I'm just like, is she Natalie Portman? Right? Like sometimes you look at someone and you be like, I swear I know who that is. But you just can't quite put your finger on it, right? But it wasn't Natalie Portman, obviously, right? But yes, and then other people, Josh Brolin was great as Jefferson, but I was thinking it was oh my god, the Big Lebowski. I can, for the life of me, the name has completely lost my mind. But yeah, but fantastic cast, right? Everyone really did a great job here, which was, it's always nice, right? Jeffrey Wright. I mean, how many different types of character has this man played? Always excellent. Always excellent. So we have all of these components that really do work well and just help flesh out this story. Like as I said earlier, a lot of people saying this is probably the best one out of the bunch. I'll say that I think Glass Onion at this moment in time is my favorite. But that's not taking away from what we have here. The first film was great, right? This one, really good. Really good. Like I guess the only thing with this one for me is some of the hesitancy that Blanc shows. Just because I don't know if I thought it made a lot of sense. You know what I mean? I'm not quite sure what I felt about it. Now, it didn't ruin the film for me. Yeah, definitely didn't do that. But it was just that was the thing that I was a bit like, I mean, why though? Why would he? But other than that, this is once again a extremely solid entry to this franchise, and I think it shows it still has legs, right? Because you enjoy the film, and by the end of it, you're still like, gotta say, I want to see some more Benoit Blanc, right? Like, you're not tired of the character. We're not tired of the concept here. So yeah, I think Rian has done a great job. He's been able to tell a different type of tale and maintain the allure of the franchise, right? That we still want more. Now, technically, this is the end of his contract with these films with Netflix, but he has said that him and Craig are not tired, right, of this world, of these characters, and they're happy to do more, right? So it's they'll only stop when one of them is don't really want to do it. They're not going to recast. They're not going to get someone else to direct. Hey, once they're tired, that's it. But right now, they're not tired. And that, people, is fantastic. Because, yeah, who doesn't want more Benoit Blanc, right? And how else could they tell these tales? Set in a different country, in a very different location, maybe on a cruise ship or something along those lines. Who knows? But, in the snow, a ski resort or something. I don't know, but there's so many different options you could go in, so yes, I think if you liked the first two, you will definitely enjoy Wake Up Dead Man, and yeah, this genre, this whodunit genre, right? It's still got legs. You know, because when you think about the after party, right? Season one was fantastic. That was some tremendous TV. You know, then you've got well, we had the Naked Gun reboot earlier in the year. Well, mid-year, wasn't it? I mean, I think about mid-year, and that was surprisingly funny. You know, I was skeptical at the time, but it was, you know, when it finally hit and I watched it, I was like, yo, that's not bad, right? So the whodunits, right? It's still got legs, and so does Benoit Blanc. So let's hope we get more of this character at some point. But yeah, people, wake up, dead man. It is now on deck. On Deadflix? On Netflix. So, yeah, as I said, if you like the first two, this is a no-brainer. You'll enjoy it. So, yeah, maybe watch it over some turkey or, you know, over some, I don't know, whatever you do on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, some of that kind of thing. It's a fun watch, right? So, yeah, people, enjoy. This is my take on Wake Up Dead Man. And maybe let me know, right? Where do you rank this within the three films so far, right? Is it your favorite? Were one of the others? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Yeah. Let me know how you found this one. I very much enjoyed it. Yes. So there you go, people. Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery.